Hi everyone, Matt Watson here from carwow. Oh my God, I wasn't expecting that to be so high. It's all right, I'm okay. This is the Mercedes G500 4x4 squared, so a lifted, hardcore, off-road special version of the previous generation G Class. It's absolutely nuts, and in this video I'm going to tell you all about the upgrades over the normal G Class. I'm going to drive it on road where I think it'll probably be pretty rubbish. I'm going to take it off-road where I think it'll be pretty bloody good. Now before we get into all that, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to turn your notifications on. That way you won't miss a single video. I'm out of breath there, that kind of scared me. Let's kick off this video by talking about the design, because I absolutely love the look of this thing. It's just so imposing, especially in this bright yellow paint. I wonder where Suzuki got the idea for launching their new Jimny, which looks a bit like a G-Wagon, in bright yellow. This thing though is absolutely huge. So it's 2.1 meters wide, which is over 10 centimeters wider than the normal old G Class. Another cool thing is this, look, this huge aluminium scuff plate. Down the side, this car got bespoke 22-inch alloy wheels. On the normal G Class, they went up to 20 inches. Height-wise, 2.25 meters. No wonder I hurt my ankle when I fell out of it. I've got to show you this as well, which means climbing up. We've got a light bar here on the top, also made out of carbon fibre. Now around the back, you have some more aluminium bars there. Don't know what they're for, just for show, I imagine. But they do look cool. In fact, this whole thing is really epic to look at. I love it. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Here on the inside, it's just like a normal old G Class, so it feels a lot smaller than you think it would be by looking at the outside. And you've got a crappy old infotainment system as well. However, you do get the Designo exclusive package as standard on the 4x4 squared, so that includes these lovely sporty seats with soft leather, Alcantara, some 4x4 square badging here. You've got carbon fibre here, and on here on the grab handle, and there's some more Alcantara with a diamond pattern here on the door cards, and more Alcantara on the roof lining, which does lift it somewhat. Here in the back, there's a decent amount of headroom. You can easily fit 3 people across this bench because it's quite wide, and because the window ledge is quite low and you're so high up, you really do get to look down onto the vehicles, which is cool. The only problem is knee room. Look, it's really quite tight. In fact, I think you get more knee room in a GLA. This car has a huge practical boot, though unlike the normal G-Wagon, it does have a luxurious feel to it because you've got these upgraded mats in the back with, once again, Alcantara with diamond quilting and here on the door. Though, look at this cheap panelling here. That's awful, especially when you consider that this car cost £200,000 when it first went on sale in 2015. Though if you want one now, you have to pay £250,000, and that's even if you can find one, because they're quite rare. And that brings me on to 5 annoying things about the G500 4x4 squared. Due to all the extra stuff on it, the 4x4 squared is heavier than the normal old G-Wagon, so it weighs 3 tons, which means if you ever need to push it, you're not going to be able to. This is the same 4-litre twin-turbo V8, 422 horsepower, 610 newton meters engine that you get in the normal G500. Only that car can do 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds, whereas it takes the 4x4 squared 7.4 seconds because it's bigger and heavier. It's not the only problem either. Look, how do you get this down? Oh, don't want to damage it. The normal G500 already had a pretty terrible turning circle at 13.6 meters, but on this 4x4 squared, it goes up to 14.3 meters. So you're going to be doing lots of 3, 4, maybe even 5-point turning. The raised ride height makes it a real pain to load the boot, especially if you're wanting to transport rocks around. Oh. This car really needs a grab handle there and up there to help you haul yourself into the vehicle because it's just so high. Other 4x4s have it, so you end up kind of like just getting in like this, which isn't very dignified. Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this. Here's 5. You can get optional Hutchinson beadlock wheels, which are good because they stop sand, mud and rock getting into the wheel bearings. One of this car's key features are its portal axles. So instead of the drive shaft coming out the centre of the wheel, there's a gearing system, so it comes out higher up there. It also means that this differential pumpkin is higher as well, so it's out the way of rocks. The result is that you've got a ground clearance of 450mm compared to 210mm for the normal G500. The raised ride height means that you've now got an approach angle of 52 degrees instead of 36. You've got a departure angle of 54 degrees instead of 27, and a breakover angle of 47 degrees instead of 21. Also, the wading depth is now 1 metre instead of 60 centimetres. The distance across the axles, which is known as the track in the business, is 1,774mm, which is 300mm more than a normal G500, so that helps it straddle stuff. Oh yeah! Obviously the suspension is seriously upgraded over the normal G-Class, so you've got twin coilovers at each corner, and they have adaptive dampers with a sports mode or a comfort setting. You also get upgraded brakes as well to cope with all the extra weight. So let's see what this 4x4 squared is like to drive. Firstly, out on the road. I'm loving this race driving position. It's brilliant. You get such a good view out. Also, it seems more comfortable over bumps than the normal old G500. Clearly that's to do with the upgraded suspension. I thought it'd be worse, but actually it's better. I've got the car in comfort mode. I'm actually going to put it into sports mode. There we go. Don't think that's really made a difference. Not really. Steering, it's not the most responsive. That was the problem with the old G500. It had a really old-fashioned steering system, and this has still got it. But this doesn't seem to like lean quite so much when I do steer. That must be due to the wider track. It just keeps it more stable. Yeah, I prefer this. This is nicer to drive on the road than the normal G500. Not the new one. The new one is still better, but it's definitely better than the standard old G500. And the engine, it's quick enough. Maybe a bit slow, this car, than the standard one, but you don't really need to be going any faster. Anyway, that's enough of testing this thing on road. This is all about the off-road experience, so let's head off the tarmac and see what it's like on some rough terrain. I'm now on an off-road course, so I'm going to pop the car into low range mode and put it into manual for the gearbox, so I've got more control, because there's no hill descent control here, and I'm going up a steep slope and then down the other side. Yeah, enjoying the approach angle. Unfortunately, the departure angle, traction, the departure angle isn't as good as it could be because of that bar on the back, which is there for safety reasons, just in case someone drives into the back of the car when they're on the road. If it's too high up, they'll go underneath it, and that'd be a lot worse. But still, there's plenty of ground clearance for what I'm doing here. Easy! Come on, drive up. Come on, drive. Scrabbly, scrabble. Oh dear. I think I'm going to have to lock the central diff. This might help me out a little bit more. Yes. Oh, good old mechanical diffs. And down the other side. See if I can do it on engine braking alone. Feet off the pedals. Final hill to get over. Should be no problem now. My central diff is locked. Oh, yeah. Easy peasy. Whee. Oh. Now I'm going to drive round this side slope to show what it's like at the technical element of side slope driving. I'm leaning. The car's not toppling. Being taller and with a higher centre of gravity, it is more at risk of doing that. Now I'm going to do the classic chassis articulation test by driving over some uneven bumps. I have to take it slow. Come on, big G. Walk over these like they're not really there. Oh, struggling for traction. I know what I need to do. I'm going to lock my rear differential. There, we're moving again. Right. Easy does it. Oh yeah. Oh, going a bit awry there. Do you know what I'm going to do now? Just for good measure, I'm going to lock my front differential as well. Got 3 of them. I'm going to use them all. Keep this thing moving. Just walking away my 4x4 squared. I wonder how many owners actually did any off-roading in their cars. Probably very few. So then, what's my final verdict on the Mercedes G500 4x4 squared? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you just not bother with any of this because it's totally irrelevant really, isn't it? This is an ultra rare vehicle, and if you want one, you can afford one, you can find it, you're going to buy it. My personal opinion is it's both utterly useless and completely brilliant in equal measure, and for that reason, I love it. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Also, comment below any kind of other videos you'd like us to do. If you want to watch some more videos, click on the windows there.